Welcome to the Kortex Media Podcast, Marketing Accelerator, your compass for navigating the dynamic world of marketing and business growth. I'm Korson Schmidt, founder of Kortex Media. Our mission is to equip marketing agencies with the custom growth solutions they need to unlock massive revenue increases and scale their business. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. Today we're joined by a leader who is building the future of advertising and operational leverage for agencies. Connor Holland, co-founder of Leo, an AI marketing assistant for agencies and freelancers. Connor brings a unique background, having studied economics and worked in private equity, which informs his focus on efficiency and scalability. Leo is a powerful tool that connects directly to ad networks like Meta and Google, creating, optimizing, and monitoring full campaigns for a fraction of the traditional cost. Connor is here to share how Leo is providing a competitive edge, empowering agencies and freelancers to improve their operational efficiency and deliver better results for their clients. Connor, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Korson. This is awesome.
No worries. I'm excited to get into this one, Connor. You guys have a new product, Leo. It's something new. I'm excited to hear a little bit more about it and kind of what you guys are doing. So, you're one of the co-founders of Leo. It's an AI advertising assistant for agencies, freelancers, and all of the above. What is your service? What do you guys do? What is Leo? And what do we need to know about it?
Yeah. So at the basic level, what our product is a system where marketers can come connect their ad account. So say they have a Meta Ads account for a client. They connect it to our system. Our system ingests all of the account data, creates strategies, figures out how to improve performance, and then through a chat interface, the marketer can actually execute on those strategies. So it's really an intelligence and an abstraction layer on top of something like Meta Ads Manager, and so we've had a lot of positive feedback from users because they don't have to go into the ad managers anymore, whether it be Google or Meta. So it's
amazing.
It's been a great solution so far for them.
Yes, that's awesome. Now, just to understand for people who don't know much about Leo, much about what you guys are doing, do you mind taking us through a quick case study and how it's helped a specific agency get the results they were looking for? So whether someone that you guys have worked with or someone that has used it for a client potentially. Can you run us through a quick run through on how it really got that company to their goals and where they wanted to be?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So a good one I can think of is indoor like home exercise equipment brand.
Okay.
So mostly sold through these D2C channels, through their website and through Amazon. And so this company was doing well just because they already had an epic product, right? Yeah. So people were interested in it, buying it, and they had one kind of freelance marketer who was working with them part-time, didn't have the time or the resources to just focus on that brand completely. And so what we did is we provided them with Leo. So this marketer came in, attached Leo to their Meta Ads account, and then with the couple hours a day they had to work on this brand, they just chatted with Leo instead of going through the account history, trying to create strategies, just using their own neural network. They now were using this AI connection to their ad account to come up with the strategies and publish. So in that case, those 2 hours a day that the marketer was spending on this account was really leveraged by our tool and improved the return on ad spend on that account by 5x. So there are these situations where there are a lot of kind of large gains that could be attained by a little bit more intelligence and a little bit more nuance in the ad strategy, but they aren't really mined out because you don't have the time to put towards it, you don't have the clarity on the data, you don't have kind of the execution ability that an agency or a team of marketers could bring. So with a little bit of help on the strategy and the execution piece, this brand was able to achieve a huge jump in their return on ad spend, which in the D2C business is like the king metric, right? You just you just want to improve your return on ad spend because the costs are high for distribution, everything. But
Yes, exactly. No. Okay. Great
yeah,
story. I love hearing success stories and how it all works out. Now, I mean, you guys use Leo internally as well, and it seems like an amazing tool from our conversations. What happens if you guys have a new company, you don't have much data about them? How do they get their data into Leo so it can make the best decisions for their campaigns and really optimize their ROAS?
yeah, yeah. So, I mean, in order to get their data in, we have a few solutions. Like the first thing is they come onto the platform and they just like authenticate with their Meta accounts. They just put in their credentials. Meta then, we're a Meta partner and our app is approved on Meta's platform. So we just connect immediately there and ingest all of their historical performance. We also have a Google Analytics connection too. And then we also are developing connections on CRMs for companies like us who are more leads based. But with if the account is set up properly and you also have access to some kind of data source which can shed light on conversions, like that is all you need to get those kind of initial gains I talked about in strategy and improved execution. So with those data sources and a competent marketer, right, they can use Leo, mine all of the information they need, and then improve their strategic approaches to these different brands they're working with.
Gotcha. Amazing. That's awesome. It's a super cool tool. Now, algorithms are always changing on these platforms, whether it be Meta, Google,
Yeah,
etc., all of the above. How does Leo
yeah.
stay up with what's going on within the algorithm, making sure it's making the best decisions for the client and whoever the ad account is running for? How does Leo stay up to date and know that this is the ad that's going to drive the most traction, this, and this? I guess it is approved by Meta itself, but how does it know these algorithm changes and stay up to date to really give you that ROAS and get the best results?
Yeah, that's a great question, Corson. So, um, the algorithm is an interesting thing. Even, we're based here in Silicon Valley. We're down the road from Google, Intuit, and Meta, and all these companies, and so we interact with these engineers who are working on these huge algorithms that honestly that have a really big effect on our lives now. And so the ad placement algorithms, like you're talking about, we talk to some engineers at these big companies, and they're like, well, we don't really understand why they do the things. It's gotten so big at this point. They're ingesting so much data, making so many decisions across all these different features in the data that we don't really know why it's doing what it's doing, but
Yeah.
we know what the outcomes are, and that it's beneficial at least for Meta, or in some hopefully for the advertisers on the platform as well. But um, that's all to say that it's confusing and it's very convoluted. Um, but an exciting thing is, right, you take a very good ad buyer, for example, and these people have a lot of experience working with a platform like Meta, and they don't, at least the ad buyers we interact with aren't necessarily um, you know making all of their decisions from a, a single spreadsheet where they have figured out, okay, X, Y, and Z is happening, so I'm going to take action A for our client. Rather, they kind of move through this very like multi-dimensional space almost intuitively, because things like the algorithms are so unpredictable and can't really be understood from a pure data perspective. So, um, in the past, there have been automated ad buying solutions, which could be like a decision tree where it's like, okay, X, outcome happened on the platform, so now I'm gonna perform Y action, like raise the bid or raise the budget or something like that. Um, and an ad buyer like the one I described would do much better than the decision tree because they kind of have this intuition, you could call it, or they've trained their mind on how to move through this multidimensional space. Well, that's the same way that our AI does it, right? It's going to sort of gather experience, for lack of a better word, on your ad account and understand how to move through this multidimensional space. I mentioned the data we bring in from the platform, and then also like conversion data and things like that. We also have lots of other data that's coming in as well, which is not related to the client, like general trends in the market, social context, the competitive landscape, and what other brands are doing, how they're being successful. So anyways, with all of these different data points or features across the data, our agents are developing that same kind of experience or intuition that a really good ad buyer would bring. So the exciting thing is if you bring those two together, you have one marketer who is thinking more high level, and then they can work with Leo to um, bring their intuition and their thinking to lots more ad accounts and perform better for those ad accounts. So it's kind of this like this moment where the two minds are working together, right? This human marketer and now our AI marketer, and we're getting really cool results from that in conjunction, I guess, again with this other entity, which is like an algorithm or this very multi-dimensional space.
Yeah, no, it's a cool landscape kind of that we're going through right now. I think ad buyers, like you said, they're going to become better and better, and the individuals that can learn how to leverage Leo as a tool and really help it build its own knowledge base at the same time about these campaigns on what the ad buyer knows, I think it's really going to create a snowball effect, and you're going to create so much success in your campaigns because you don't have one brilliant mind. You have Leo and the other brilliant mind. So you're almost bouncing ideas off each other, figuring out what works the best. Now
it's like playing jazz music.
You're a jazz player, aren't you?
Well, casually. More of an observer and an enjoyer. But I think that is kind of a good analogy to what you're saying. Like two minds working together for kind of a common goal, and they can get into this situation where they're really in the flow. Yeah. And that's I know some marketers who've described it like that.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with Leo and save so much time as well. Instead of you having to go through, figure out what ad's working, go shut it off, and then create a new one that's going to work. Leo can build that foundation and be like, if you wanted to build a video ad, this is what I'd build. Because Leo right now can't build video, right? It's just static at the moment.
Yeah. But that's coming in a couple of weeks.
That's exciting. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So Leo could probably point you in the right direction and be like, hey, this is an ad that would work very well if you use this messaging, this tone, etc. Even if you wanted to create the creative, but it will soon create the creative. But I'm assuming it'll give you suggestions just speaking with the agent on what is best to do rather than it doing everything itself. So if you still wanted to be in control, you could still be that person in control of everything and just use it as like a second mind, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's super cool. Now, soon when it's going to be rolling out with the video, are we going to see a lot of similar, are they all going to be animated videos, I'm assuming? More of an animated ad through Meta with the video content?
Good question. So like there are different, the kind of system we have uses these different tools for generation. So right now it can do all the static generation, right? So if you have existing images, it can edit them, change the aspect ratios, change the styling, all these sorts of things. And then the video would be sort of analogous. So if you have existing content, it can be modified, or you could have new content generated as well. But I mean, I think to your point, the real value here is, okay, you have this brain, which is Leo, which understands your brand and kind of the landscape. And so it's informing the creation piece, whether that's done by the system, our system, or done by you. The results should be the same if we're following the the system's instructions, and of course the marketer is in agreement with that, and it all makes sense. But the outcome should be the same because it's the real value here is the intelligence.
Yeah. And I mean, the time saving as well. People are going to take a lot of time not having to look through their own data to figure out what works. Just ask Leo and be like, hey, Leo, how's what ad's working? What should I shut off? And it'll actually do it for you as well. So saving a ton of time there. I've seen more and more coming about with more of the email marketing, having the agents doing your email marketing, do your lead scraping, set up your domains, send the messages, test, iterate, all of the above. But this is the first I've heard of the ads manager or the advertising agent for other marketing agencies. So I interview marketing agencies on this podcast. So if there's a marketing agency, maybe they aren't getting into ads, or maybe they have a client that wants to start it, what's the best option in your opinion to start with? Like, should they get Leo, start using it for themselves first and learn it, or how can they really benefit using this tool for themselves or for their clients?
Yeah, that's a great question. Like another example of a company we worked with, they focused on text-based leads management, so like SMS stuff. And so um, they wanted to expand their agency offering. Like we want to get into the ad space, but it just doesn't make sense with, the current options available. And they were thinking, okay, that means you hire a bunch of ad buyers, a bunch of creative people, which would be awesome, but they don't have the the kind of bandwidth to do that because they're focused on SMS leads management and they have a system that does that really well. But with Leo, they're like, oh, okay, like we already have like an awesome marketer on our team. We could just try offering this layered service to our existing clients, and then our marketer could manage it, and then we effectively have a new agency offering.
Yeah.
And so that's what they've been doing, and it's been awesome. They've acquired lots of customers, and they're using Leo to do that. So I mean, it is a cool thing that you can sort of do, maybe similar to the way like Go High Level can empower
Yeah.
marketers and agencies, but like you can now in a day get a new offering up and running and have it be very effective for your clients. So
That's crazy.
it's cool, yeah, for agencies that are focused on different parts of the funnel. They can now add ads to their offering quite easily.
I think it's really going to benefit the company itself that doesn't know a lot of marketing and don't have the budgets for marketing yet. Because I mean,
Yeah,
yes, there's still ad spend on it, but they don't have to spend money on the agency to do it for them. They don't have to spend the money on spend the time, on learning how to actually use the platform Meta itself. They just get
yeah,
Leo to plug in systems and do it itself. And it'll help you understand it as well, because you just ask Leo, hey, what the hell's going on with my account? Why am I getting some responses here, some not? And I'll educate you at the
yeah,
same time. So I think it's really going to benefit the new user within marketing that doesn't have much of a budget, but it's also
yeah,
really going to benefit those agencies that are running with 50 clients, because they don't have to go through every single individual campaign they're running and make the changes that they have to, because it already has the
yeah.
knowledge on what it should be doing and should do and shouldn't be doing. So
Well, and that's what we're excited about is, and you're right. Well, first I'll say, okay, you have kind of these two ideas, right? There's the
yeah,
company you go to and you give them Leo and it empowers them to run ads for themselves. We've seen that be effective, and in certain cases, especially when they have a good product, it works, right? Because they're like, okay, I didn't have any marketing experience. I just started using Leo, and now like I've improved by 200% because my marketing sucked before, and now
yeah,
this is giving me good strategy and executing for me. So that is one case. You bring it to the company and it works. But this other one you're talking about, like improving the agency or maybe even a freelancer, we've seen to be even more exciting because these companies, the ones you're talking about who don't know how to use Meta, don't have marketing experience, they want their hands held, like they don't want to have to worry about it. It's like
yeah,
even using Leo is like for the really scrappy ones, the companies that are like, okay, I don't know it, but I'm going to figure it out, and then
yeah,
Leo can help them. But in most cases they're just like, I need help, like I just want someone to hold my hand. I want a really good customer success person or project manager to be helping me through it. So they want the agency service. So um, that's why we like enabling agencies with Leo, because they can offer this service to more companies and get them really great performance. And then there are these pernicious things like, oh, my pixel's not set up, or like, how do I get my ad account right? Or there are lots of things that the agency person or the freelancer is like poised to do so easily and create a lot of value with little effort. And then you layer Leo on top of that, and they become like a super marketer. So it's yeah, that's what I'd kind of say, because I think your comment's totally correct. But like the agency play is very exciting because the agencies and the freelancers are so valuable
yeah.
already, and we're kind of making them more powerful.
Yes, definitely. No, that's amazing. I love what you guys are doing and building behind it. Now, what happens when we have everyone using Leo and it producing the same content or same ad play. I mean, it shouldn't, because the algorithm should never cross over. But what if the content starts being just a little bit similar in a similar niche, or etc.? Is that possible? Because I mean, it is coming from the same brain, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the exciting thing there is, I could see a future where people are creating their own agents on marketplaces, like creative agents, and they're used within something like our platform. And so you could have very
Very
different
true.
tastes, producing different kinds of content, or you could even have different kinds of personas for strategists that could be used within our platform, either produced by us or others, where you could have very aggressive marketers versus more conservative, representing different kinds of strategic tastes too, as well as creative tastes. So, I mean, there's a lot of exciting things there, but yeah, I mean, if the future were going to be boring, I would, because of this, I would be so sad. It should be more exciting, right?
Yeah,
As a result of the new technology. So, uh, yeah, I am all for
that's
the,
awesome.
all this creative stuff
Yeah,
happening and being less homogenous.
yeah. So
Homogeneity seems
y-
super boring.
exactly. All right. So we've talked about Leo itself. Now let's talk about the industry, the marketing industry as a whole, and agencies themselves. AI and Leo aside, what are some of the biggest industry trends you're seeing? What are some of the biggest challenges you're seeing agencies go through today? Or maybe some great wins that agencies are having as well. I mean, it's a huge question, but what are you seeing in the industry today that is challenging agencies, maybe helping agencies win? What are those trends you're seeing?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, um, I would say for for context on the general like agency landscape or agency as a business kind of thing, a lot of small agencies I've worked with and having operated, I mean, we've really operated an agency in some ways ourselves. Um, like uh, the business model kind of stinks. Like it's a lot. I mean, these agency owners and marketers are providing great service. A lot of them love what they do and they're very passionate about it. So are we. But the business model itself kind of stinks compared to other business models because it's very constrained by, the number of really good marketers you have on your team, and to grow, you just add more people and get more notoriety. And so like it's similar to, like a law firm or any of these other kind of these like talent-based businesses, right? And so I know I've talked to some marketers who are kind of dismal and pessimistic when they talk about AI as part of this new marketing landscape. Like, it's gonna, this is the classic take my job kind of argument. But I actually see it quite differently. I think it's probably this is going to be like the one innovation in the history and selling marketing services. But this has been around for a long time, right? But in this whole history, like this will be the one innovation which fundamentally changes the business model. So now agencies can be unconstrained by the number of ad buyers or creative people they have on their team. They could have a few highly talented individuals, and then they can, if they get the tooling right with AI, they can export that kind of understanding or expertise to many clients, something you could not do before. So I'm actually very optimistic for agencies and freelancers, especially in this new era, and I think it's going to become a very attractive business. I mean, it'll be interesting because there will be some businesses that had very attractive business models before, which are going to become very unattractive, and I think this human service business model is actually going to become super attractive in a
Yeah,
high growth area to be in.
yeah,
So
definitely.
I'm optimistic. Yeah.
No, I love that. It's kind of like Alex Ramosi says. He says in the coming years, we're going to have our first one person business billionaire, because it's going to be someone that knows how to use these tools at the best of their benefits. They know how to use it properly to really, whether it be helping businesses or whether it be for their own business, they know how to use these systems, these tools, etc., to elevate businesses and elevate income and really save a ton on their spend, because it's only you and tools. It's
Yeah.
not much. But
Yeah.
I totally agree with everything that you said there. It's going to make it a huge advantage for agencies, other than the market is going to get even more saturated than it already is. And that's okay. As long as you do good work, you're going to separate from the batch that don't do good work. And we're going to see that more and more. I hear a lot of agencies speak about trust, and trust is a huge factor in today's market because there's so many people that do not do great work. There's some people that do amazing work. It's a tough landscape to navigate between client and agency relationship to build that trust and really get the proper relationship before jumping in and building that goal that they're striving towards, that goal that they're looking for. How do you guys go about building trust within this industry and really getting in touch with your clients to ensure that they trust you 100%, knowing you guys and Leo will get them to their goals?
Yeah. I mean,
Tough question.
it's a good question though. But I think thinking about the last question too around these agencies and kind of what the future of agency business looks like, and you had mentioned, it may become more saturated because there are lower barriers to entry, but I think like the differentiation will likely be related to the level of human services or relationships you have, and kind of your brand, So, and a big part of that is like the trust piece. And so for us right now, especially as like an emerging company, we're not only, I think our team is, we try to be extremely honest and put the customers first, of course, but also from the, the incentives perspective, like the actual business incentives, like we need to establish credibility as like a trustworthy platform and that we treat our customers very well. So, I think it's everything when you're trying to develop an offering which you want to scale and also retain your customers.
Retention
I think
is huge these days.
Yes, in the agency space where it's like 7-month churn or something like that.
Yeah, well, and people don't want to go find new agencies, have those conversations to find new partners. It's just all a pain in the ass at the end of the day. People like easy, people like nice people work with good people. And just to expand off your part, if you guys are great people and have a great brand, I think that's going to be a huge differentiator into the coming years is your brand. What do you guys portray? What is your message? Because people aren't going to resonate with anything because a lot of people or a lot of individuals are going to be using AI systems to do a lot of their light work for them. And hey, I totally agree. Go for it. You might as well. They're free tools. A lot of them are free tools. Use those automations, get that in, but you really need to portray that brand image at the same time, building trust right from the get-go, just like you guys are trying to do with Leo, because it's something new, right? So I think brand is going to be huge. It's going to help people resonate with who you are, what you do. And even just having a podcast that people, for example, that people can go listen to, they get a feel of how you are.
Podcast.
Yeah, thank you. People just get a feel on how you are, who you are, and if they want to work with you, if they align with the same values that you have. And it's all part of about building that brand at the end of the day.
Agreed.
Yeah. So looking ahead for Leo, what are some of the biggest goals that you guys are striving towards? What's that vision you guys have behind Leo? Because you guys are new, you're an emerging company, working with new agencies, freelancers, and all of the above, helping them get to their goals. But what are your guys' goals?
Yeah. Really right now we the long-term goal is that every marketer is using Leo, right? So we want it to become this like toothbrush, essentially. Like if you're doing marketing, you have to, and you have to because it just makes your life so much better. And to think of doing marketing without Leo would be silly. So we're trying to create a product which is that, right? And we're not trying to convince anyone of that just with what we say about the brand, but really from their experiences with it. So that's the long-term vision is it becomes this kind of standard operating system that makes a marketer's life so much better and benefits their clients. In the short run, we're really trying to work closely with our current users to make a better product for them, make sure they're delighting their customers, because, of course, if we're offering this to agencies and freelancers, it's ultimately going to affect their customers, right? So we're trying to work very closely with them to make sure they get the most value out of this and are successful. So that's like the near-term focus, is just delighting these existing companies and partners we have, and who, by the way, are all amazing, and then really expanding that offering to other marketers and agencies.
I love the goals behind it. That's it's going to be a different future in the coming future. We're going to see a lot more different Leos out there, but Leo's going to stand out. It's the first one I've heard of yet so far, through the conversations I've had. I haven't done much research into it, but it seems like a great product. I'm actually interested in using it. We'll chat after this conversation. But for young entrepreneurs just getting started in this massive industry, this crazy marketing industry, what we call it, what is the best piece of advice you could give them to take their first steps in this space?
Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing is, like, any undertaking will require a lot of energy and most of your time. So like, choose carefully the kind of problems you want to solve, and then be all in. I think that's probably the best advice I can give. No, but it's awesome to build something. So if you have the opportunity to be close to actually building something and giving it to people who can use it, you should.
Definitely helping out the agency, the marketing owner, the business owner, helping all of the above get the results that they're looking for. Connor, where can people find you if they want to get in contact with you? Where can people find Leo if they want to learn more about Leo? What's your website, your socials for?
Yeah, we're leoads.ai is our website, and we're on LinkedIn under the same name, Leo Ads. And you can reach out to me personally. I can include my LinkedIn link there. Of course, I don't know how you do this, but I would love to hear from anyone who's working with companies as a marketer, or is a marketer at an existing company. Would really love to help.
Awesome. Connor, it's been a pleasure having you on the podcast, learning a little bit more about Leo, what you guys are doing, and the product you guys have, helping agency owners, business owners, and all of the above get to where they want to be. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the audience before we cut the scene here?
Look forward to hearing from you. Would love to get in touch.
Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, Connor. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thanks. This is a great podcast. Appreciate it, Korson.